Alright, so I had a little time here. My wife's gonna be taking off for work, and had some time before she is done getting ready, so I figured I'd make a little video. These are two tools that I have found I have been using more frequently. Well, I was using the chisel building the tool sheds, but it was more for like rough work, like knocking something off, and more for like a pry bar or something. But I'm actually using this chisel as a chisel now, and you know, getting in there and cleaning up joints and stuff with the more woodworking we're doing with the making the Adirondack chairs. That's where we use these the most. This is actually a Buck Brothers chisel from. So the story behind this chisel, I got this. There was a guy selling a bunch of chisels on. They were Buck Brothers chisels on the Craigslist out of New Hampshire, and for some reason I thought that I needed to buy a whole set of chisels at the time, and this was one of the chisels that came in the lot for like $100. They were probably like 15-20 chisels, so I probably made out pretty good, but I don't need all of the sizes that I have. This is the one that I use most frequently. It's an inch, and I keep it sharp enough that I'm not really going to push on that. And this, yes, it's not a fine woodworking chisel. There's a lot of guys on YouTube who have like Stanley Sweethearts or whatever, and Irwin Marples, and really high-end expensive chisels, and they're making high-end expensive custom cabinetry and things like that. I don't do that. This works perfect for what I'm using it for, which is usually just cleaning up the cut that the back support for the Adirondack chairs goes into. We got a motorcycle coming by, so bear with me. That was actually really cool. That was like a complete custom bike, and I should have put the phone up, but I didn't. But yeah, it's a 1-inch Buck Brothers chisel, and it does what I need it to do. It cleans up the things that I need it to clean up. Like I said, building tool sheds, I'm used to using a chisel as like a pry bar and to cut nails and stuff. That's not what this is doing. This, I think somebody's running a drone above us right now. But this is not doing really fine cleanup work. It's cleaning out the joint, and sometimes I'll pare off little edges that don't fit, and it works good for that. The other tool is this Stanley block plane. It's a number 60.5, and I bought this in a junk shop on Martha's Vineyard for, I think, $10-15, and I'd like to tell you that when I bought it, it was you know, it was so rusted out that it couldn't be used, and I put it in an electrolysis bath, and I did all that. I didn't do any of that stuff. The woman who owned the junk shop, her husband cleaned these up, and that was like his hobby. He would find them at yard sales and in people's garages and stuff, and he'd clean them up. And that was what he would do. And I mean, I didn't have to. This thing is probably 60 years old, and I brought it home from Martha's Vineyard. I wrapped it up in a rag. I brought it home from Martha's Vineyard, and I didn't even have to adjust it. And I paid like $10-15 for it. I bought like 3 or 4 of them. And this and the chisel go right in the front pocket of my tool belt that I wear when I'm doing the Adirondack chairs. And this is perfect for cleaning up the back slats that you see there. We cut everything out with a jigsaw, and afterwards the cut is really not square. It's got kind of waves and stuff to it. Just running over with that 2 or 3 times, it cleans it up, it makes it square, and they all go together, so they don't look like jack-o'-lantern teeth. They look good, they go together. But yeah, these are just 2 tools that I have been finding I use a lot more. And in the case of the chisel, in a lot different ways. Although that's not true, because I keep a Buck Brothers version of this in my carpentry stuff that I take to build sheds. And what I do with that is, if I ever have to clean up like window trim or something, I can kind of nudge it down with that. And it's also really good for if you build a loft and one of the 2x4s was just a hair high, it was just a hair bowed, and it didn't get pulled down by the nail. You can knock it down with that, and then you can just put your plywood right on top of it. Again, these are not, I'm not a fine woodworker. I'm not Norm Abram. I'm not, I'm not doing custom cabinetry. I'm doing what God has given me the ability to do. And I'm sure a lot of people use these tools to do really intricate, heavy-duty custom cabinetry and stuff. That's not me. This is what I use them for, and this is the use they get from me. So, like I said, it's an inch chisel, a Buck Brothers chisel, and I just got that in like a lot of tools. I think maybe the chisel itself cost me $6 because there were so many of them. And this I got perfectly tuned. It actually had less rust on it when I bought it. It's got like a patina again. Maybe I should keep like a layer of oil on it. I'm sure I probably should, but it's in a garage. It's in my barn, and I keep it in my tool belt to do not rough work, but not really fine work either. We do what we can with the abilities that we have, and these are the tools that I've been using more frequently lately. I still don't think I've had to adjust this, if you can believe that. There's videos on how you adjust this and how you go in there and you clean everything up, and I did that with the Buck Brothers planes. I've got like a jack plane and a like a smoothing plane that they're Buck Brothers from Home Depot, and I did all that. I did the filing and getting in there, cleaning it up, and they actually work really good. I took a class and did it. And they get a really fine shaving. This does too. It's like a really paper thin shaving that comes off. And yeah, I have wanted to be in woodworking and doing this kind of work for quite some time now, and I'm doing it, and I feel blessed to be doing it, and I feel even more blessed to be doing it with my son. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope wherever you are, you're comfortable and that God is with you. Thank you.